Good evening, everybody, and it's great to be with you. President Biden wants the House of Representatives to call off their impeachment investigation because of one of his special counsels who has indicted an FBI informant for lying. Apparently, President Biden is under the considerably mistaken impression that somehow anyone would believe that lying corrupt FBI in the first place, or secondly, believe a lying corrupt president. Then there's the third consideration, and that is, of course, that Congress doesn't have plenty of other evidence against President Biden. Let me give you just a sample of that evidence. Congress has about 200 SARs, suspicious activity reports, they're called, from the banks, suspicious activity reports on Biden's major bank violations, including, wire deposits from Romania, from China, other foreign countries. And, what's really interesting is that he has a wire deposit from the Chinese government itself that was then laundered through the Biden shell companies, some 20 of them. And of course, everyone has at least 20 shell companies at their command. My educated guess is that Chairman James Comer and his House Oversight Committee will not be overly impressed by the president's demand. I'm thinking that's the case. The Biden White House making demands of the political press as well. He's treating the White House press corps like the lapdogs that they certainly have been for 3 years. He sent a letter over to their correspondent association telling them how they wanted reporters to handle the special counsel investigation, how they would want Robert Hur's statements and report to be considered and reported on the Biden classified document scandal. The White House spokesman, Ian Sams, or as his friends call him there in Washington, the little weenie guy, he wants those he considers lapdogs in the press to not report her statements on the president's mental lapses, cognitive impairment, and obvious significant memory loss. The president's demands didn't refer to his confusion between what is Mexico and what is Egypt. And the president's attorneys did urge, I think this is interesting, they were urging the Department of Justice to remove segments of the special counsel's report. Those references to his mental impairment and his memory loss from that special counsel report. That didn't go well for the Biden White House either. And politics and the open sewer that is our nation's capital, well, it goes on. And aren't we proud? We'll be right back. Stay with us. And former Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency Director Chris Kebb said famously, the 2020 election was the most secure in U.S. history. A new report uncovered by a FOIA request filed by Yehuda Miller shows that Krebs' agency found as many as 76% of the system with weaknesses and vulnerabilities in the 2020 election. So much for perfect election. And by the way, they haven't retracted that yet, and I'm sure they won't, aren't you? Americans entitled to truth and transparency, but we're not getting much of that from this administration, are we? Turning to the criminal trial against President Trump in Georgia, or rather what's left of it, this case is just blown up in the face of the Fulton County District Attorney there, Fani Willis. She thought she was going to be the woman who brought down former President Donald Trump. It turns out that she's destroying herself, frankly, and making Fulton County look like a corrupt cesspool as she does so. Willis decided to take the stand yesterday during a hearing regarding allegations of her misconduct. And remember, this misconduct involves a relationship with one of her prosecutors that she hired, a man by the name of Nathan Wade. Wade has been paid over $600,000 for his work, despite having no experience as a prosecutor. a felony prosecutor in particular, and Willis has also been accused of misusing federal money, and lots of it. Willis's testimony was so disastrous yesterday that she didn't testify today. The defense has all of the material they need from Willis. Frankly, yesterday she completely imploded on the witness stand. Willis and Wade were caught in a number of lies about the details of their relationship, how it began. She reportedly lost her composure and had the audacity to accuse the defense of lying. The judge in the case, Scott McAfee, warned Willis that he would have to strike her testimony if she continued her outburst. Now, that's interesting, because if the judge struck her testimony because of her outburst, her damning remarks would be eliminated as well. So I don't know what the judge was thinking in making that threat. In one shocking moment, Willis even appeared to admit to personally pocketing cash from her campaigns. Even the Marxist Democrat media couldn't hide the fact that Willis's testimony was a disaster and that it helped President Donald Trump immeasurably. And Fani Willis, attorney Mike Davis, the head of the Article 3 project, torched Willis's performance, her testimony, as the dumbest he's ever watched, and she is the dumbest prosecutor he's ever seen. To take up all of this and a lot more, joining us, I am pleased to say, and to react to all of this, is Joe DeGeneva, former U.S. attorney, former lawyer for President Trump. And Joe, as always, great to see you, and thanks for joining us. I just want to start with your reaction to Fani Willis and the twists and turns this case has taken up there in Fulton County, Georgia.
Well, when she entered the courtroom yesterday, I knew things were going to be bad. First of all, she was unannounced. And then she showed defiance, arrogance, disrespect for the court. She sat down in the witness chair and acted as if she were the judge. She started giving orders, demanding copies of exhibits, and then proceeded to give testimony that if it had been given in front of a judge who'd been on the bench for any period of time, would have gotten her held in contempt. But Judge McAfee has only been on the bench for a short period of time, and regrettably, he's up for a retention election in 4 months, which means that he's looking over his shoulder during these proceedings. And although he's been fair and respectful and dignified, I'm not sure he's going to do the right thing, because under the law, the appearance of a conflict is all that's needed to force Mr. Wade and Fani Willis out of the case. And we have more than an appearance of a conflict of interest. Let's just see if the judge has the gumption to do it.
Yeah, I didn't get the impression that things are quite right in that courtroom, because as bizarre as she was, as outrageous as she was, repugnant as she was in her comments, I mean, she was shocking people in that courtroom. But at the same time, you've got the State Bar Association telling witnesses not to testify against her effectively. I mean, what is going on in the state of Georgia in the legal profession?
Well, it's the same thing that's going on in New York. Look at the conduct of Letitia James, who announced that she, when she was running for Attorney General, that she was going to get Donald Trump. She got elected and she got Donald Trump with a civil fraud, a fake civil fraud lawsuit that led to Judge Engoron today fining the Trump organization $340 million and banning the Trumps, all of the Trumps, from doing business in New York for 3 years. What's happening in Georgia is the complete, basically the demolition of standards. When you saw this guy Wade testify and her testified, you were looking at the new breed of lawyer in Georgia, and it was an embarrassment. They were dumb, they were uninformed, they were inarticulate, but boy, they sure had their stories together. They knew how to create alibis. They knew how to create excuses. You were watching a couple of well-trained lawyers who were good at something other than lawyering.
Yeah, it is a bizarre place right now. Give us your best judgment. I do want to move to the Engoron verdict judgment. in just a moment. But give us your sense how this ends, because I can't. To me, on its face, it is so obviously corrupt. These people are so decadent, and without any, frankly, I think, moral standing to be prosecuting anyone for anything. What happens to their case against President Trump?
Well, I don't think when the hearings first started, I had confidence that Judge McAfee was going to do the right thing, take the easy off ramp, which was appearance of a conflict of interest, and rule that Fannie Willis and Wade were both out of the case. Maybe he would recuse the entire Fulton County DA's office. But after watching the end of yesterday and the hearings today, I'm not sure that Judge McAfee, has the gumption necessary to recuse them both. And remember, as I said, he's up for retention re-election in 4 months. And that is a very, very politicized city. The system appears to be populated by some pretty bad people. And after that performance, I don't know what's going to happen. I know what should happen. They should be out of the case, but I'm not sure that's going to happen.
And Fannie Willis herself, she doesn't look like she's got a care in the world. And there she is. You would think that there would be some modest embarrassment, but there's nothing modest about her, and apparently no embarrassment either.
Stunning arrogance, utter defiance, unprofessional conduct, you name it, any derogatory word that you can come up with to describe her performance, unprofessional in every sense of the word. Remember, prosecutors are supposed to be people who act with restraint. And the reason is they have great power. And when you have great power, you don't have to act like you have great power. You're supposed to act with restraint and be modest and civil. She was none of those things. And I'll tell you, boy, if she stays in this case, she's going to be an unbearable public figure.
Well, what do you make of what President Trump should do with these people? Because in every case, and let's go up to the Judge Engoron case in New York, $350 million, 3 years that they won't be able to do business in New York, and who would want to after this? This judge is out of his ever-loving mind. It's just, this is an appalling human being, let alone judge.
Well, Engoron clearly had an animus toward the Trump family and the Trump organization from the very beginning. He proved that by deciding liability in the case on a summary judgment on just papers and not holding a trial, no witnesses, nothing. And so when we got to the penalty phase, which is what this opinion was about, it was just a matter of what the dollars were going to be and how long the suspension from doing business was going to be. And I think he tried to protect himself by not banning the Trump family forever from doing business in New York by choosing 3 years for Trump and I think 2 years for the children. Yeah. But the bottom line is this: if you really think you can do business in New York with somebody like Letitia James as Attorney General and judges like Engoron, you're out of your mind.
And what does President Trump do? He has to appeal this, does he not?
Oh, of course. I mean, they'll probably do an immediate appeal to the appellate division asking for a stay of the order so they don't have to do any of these things, because he'll have to, if they don't stay the order, he'll have to get an appeal bond for tens of millions of dollars just to cover the appeal to protect the amount of money that's been ordered to be paid. And getting a bond like that under these conditions may not be as easy as it used to be for the right. Trump organization.
Well, it's the legal system has turned into a swamp all of its own. Who can afford these kind of penalties in lawfare that has been visited upon us by the Marxist Dems? They control the law schools, they control the courts, they control the profession itself, the bar associations. Our final question here: what in the world what is an American citizen to do in this period of inquisition from the left?
I like the word inquisition because that's what it is. And I think the answer is people better get out and vote in November. they better produce a Republican president and a Republican House in the Senate, because if they don't, and Joe Biden continues in office, we are going to be on a downward spiral like people cannot believe.
Joe DeGenova, we thank you for being with us as always. Joe, thank you very much. You're a great American, and best to Victoria.
You bet. You're welcome, Lou.
Thank you. We're going to be right back, and when we come back, we're going to be talking with the head of the Border Patrol Union, Brandon Judd, an old friend. Stay with us.
Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I invented My Pillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. My Pillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature regulating thread. My Pillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of My Pillow.
Now's the time to go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your My Pillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
mypillow.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from My Pillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you can get our 6-piece My Towels, regular $69.98, now only $29.98. Or you can save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels, made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Also, we have bath sheets, bath towels, washcloths, hand towels, and so much more. And the best part, with your promo code, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Towels. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our My Pillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50% and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Pillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
Welcome back. The Department of Homeland Security admitting it has no idea where those millions and millions of illegal immigrants that they've allowed to enter the United States, no idea where they are now or what they're doing, or for that matter, who they are. They're released into the interior of the country, and the Department of Homeland Security says, good luck. We know that because of emails uncovered by the Protect the Public's Trust, the watchdog group. They did so through a FOIA request. In one exchange, a Homeland Security official telling a Washington Post reporter that once illegal immigrants board buses for the interior of the country, they simply cannot track them. There's no telling where these people end up, what they're doing, or as I said, who are they? There are an estimated 14 million illegal immigrants entering the country just that way over the course of the past 3 years. It's a big deal because it leaves Americans open to depredations of the Mexican drug cartels that effectively control both our border and the lives of many, if not most, of those illegal immigrants they smuggle into this country. The traffickers of narcotics, sex trafficking, who could ask for a better administration than this administration, boosting as it is by the billions of dollars the Mexican drug cartels. It's outrageous, and yet Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas insisting that neither he nor President Biden is responsible for what they have done, responsible for a 2,000-mile long border that they turned over to the Mexican drug cartels, responsible for 14 million illegal immigrants who've entered the country, or for the almost 400,000 Americans who have been killed in overdoses of fentanyl and other deadly drugs. It's an insult to the intelligence of everyone, and with at least a working brain, you would think that everyone would understand this. We must admit that would exclude most of the officials of this administration. Joining us now is Brandon Judd. He is the president of the National Border Patrol Council, and he is the man in charge representing all of those great Americans who are defending the nation, or at least who were defending the nation and protecting our ports and our borders. Brandon, great to have you with us.
No, I'm very glad you're back. That's good for all the American people. Your news coverage has been second to none, so I'm very happy that you're back.
Well, I appreciate that. I want to turn to what is going on right now. Give us a sense of what the Border Patrol is doing if they're not protecting the border, if the border is under the control, which obviously it is, of the drug cartels. What in the world is the Border Patrol actually doing? And give us a sense of what the average every day, work a day agent is doing with his or her time.
So to understand the mindset of the cartels, the first thing that we have to understand is that they're a business. They have stakeholders. They have to create and generate a profit. That's the first thing that we have to understand. Now, they're an illegal business, but they are a business. What we're seeing right now is because they're all fat and happy, we don't have turnover at the tops of the cartels. And that's what we always want to see. Law enforcement always wants to see that there are turf wars with the cartels, because if that's happening, we know that they're having a hard time generating that profit that they need. But right now, we're just not seeing that. What we're seeing is a very effective business model. They know that all they have to do is flood our resources in any given area. So let's just say that 25 miles of border, we've got 25 agents that patrol that border. At mile 10, they cross a large group of 1,000 people. They know that that's going to force us to deploy all 25 of our agents to that 1 mile area, leaving the rest of the 24 miles wide open. And so what they're doing is they're using these illegal immigrants, well, let's call them what they are, the illegal aliens. They cross our border illegally, and they're using them as pawns to open up gaps in our coverage. And when they open up those gaps in our coverage, that's when they cross their higher value products, whether that's criminal aliens, whether it's aliens from special interest country, fentanyl, methamphetamine, cocaine. That's when they're crossing their higher value. But it's all generated based upon our policies here. They recognize that they can advertise their services around the world and get people to put themselves in their hands and cross our border illegally, being used as pawns based upon our policies that require that we ultimately end up releasing them.
Judd, I have to be honest. I mean, that sounds like a nice, that would make a nice pamphlet for the cartels to hand out. Here's the reality. We all know that they're winning. They're estimated 14 to 15 million have crossed into this country illegally in the last 3 years. Those by the estimate of people I trust, 100%. And what I asked was, where is the Border Patrol? Because they're not patrolling the border, not effectively. And apparently no one's learning any lessons. If the Border Patrol is being played like that by the cartels moving illegals, think what they're doing with the stuff that really counts, and that is fentanyl and all of the deadly drugs they're bringing in. I'm fresh out of excuses for the Border Patrol, honestly, Brandon. This is a disaster, and the Border Patrol isn't raising its voice, isn't even raising their eyes to the American public to say, this has to be fixed now. And I don't understand why.
Well, Lou, I mean, unfortunately for our agents, our rank and file agents, that's what I am there for. I am there to raise the voice for them. There's certain laws that they have to abide by, and we are law enforcement, so we're going to abide by those laws. But you're right. As far as the upper level echelon, I mean, we can go back in the Obama administration. These individuals had a bully pulpit. They wouldn't be able to go out on TV in uniform because they would have to get the Obama administration permission, but they could go out as regular citizens. They still have constitutional protections. And so that's what I am trying to do. That's what Art Del Cueto is trying to do. Hector Garza, all of these people that are my vice presidents that are elected by our rank and file agents, we're going out there and we're trying to inform the people of exactly what's going on and create proper policies so that we can get this under control. And unfortunately, because Border Patrol agents are executive branch employees, we are subject to what this administration will do, which is disgusting to every single one of us.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions to follow that. The Border Patrol Union endorsed the border bill, for crying out loud, which was a complete sellout. It was an amnesty bill. It was a sickening, disgusting piece of legislation, and you supported it. I mean, I don't even get.
Lou, I can go point by point and defeat every single argument. It raised credible fear to Trump-level eras, which is exactly what we need.
Okay.
It required that all
Brandon, I don't have time for this. I got to tell you, if the Border Patrol is not embarrassed by that support of that bill.
Lou, okay. Look, I mean, if you want to debate it honestly and openly, let's debate it. But if we're going to use rhetoric, then the American
we're going to. No, you know what? You don't want to use rhetoric. You know what? You tell me. I ask you one question to begin this conversation. What is the Border Patrol doing? And your answer was, what was it? It was rhetoric. Nothing but rhetoric.
No, Lou. It was absolute.
You're telling me that the Border Patrol hasn't learned anything in 5 years. I mean, are you kidding me?
Lou, who is the Border Patrol controlled by? Please, by all means, tell me, who is the Border Patrol?
Alejandro Mayorkas and President Joe Biden.
Exactly. Thank you very much. So what are Border Patrol agents that you are absolutely vilifying Border Patrol agents?
I'm not vilifying them.
You just did. You just said, and the Border
Okay, well, listen, if you don't think, if you don't think that
what they need to do.
If you think I'm the one vilifying the Border Patrol, you're not paying attention to the cartels and 100,000 people a year dying because we're not securing that border.
Did you just tell me that we're not doing anything?
I just told you you're not doing nearly enough.
Exactly. You're vilifying.
Oh, is that vilifying? Oh, to be criticized? Excuse me. I criticize the Border Patrol and that's vilifying? Excuse me?
When you say that we're not doing enough?
You're not even coming close to doing enough.
We are doing everything.
How the hell did 14 million illegal aliens get in this country in 3 years?
You might as well join Black Lives Matter.
Okay, you know what? That's great. Okay, I'll be glad to join them. You just answer me one question. How did 14 million illegal immigrants get into this country?
Biden's policies based upon our current laws allow him to. Look at the Supreme Court decision in 2023. The Supreme Court, a conservative, controlled by a conservative majority.
Brandon, you know better than to do this with me. Come on, man.
Lou, again, rhetoric. I am giving you
rhetoric. You've enrolled me in the Black Lives Matter movement. Wait a minute. I didn't enroll you in the Black Lives Matter movement. You enrolled me.
And all you're doing is giving rhetoric. We can go through point by point on that bill.
You can go through.
Rhetoric, Lou.
It's all rhetoric. It's all rhetoric. It's all nonsense. You know who wrote that bill? Who wrote the bill? Brandon, who wrote the bill?
James Langford wrote the bill. He is constantly rated as one of the most conservative members of the Senate.
He didn't get my rating. The man is a phony rhino, and it has been ever since he got to Congress. And he follows He follows Mitch McConnell around like a puppy.
Constantly rated as one of the most conservative senators.
Yeah, good.
He wrote a bill that point by point
It's a joke.
we can go through. Yeah, again.
It's a joke.
Lou, point it out. Point out what section of the bill is a joke, and I will point out what section.
Oh, I'll tell you which section of it. You want to know what section?
Please.
Every section in that thing is a joke. It is a joke.
Exactly, Lou. You can't.
What is? No. Let me ask you one question.
Take a point.
One question.
Single one of your arguments.
Okay, then take this point. I have a point for you to take care of then. All right. We have all of the power necessary right now on the books. All that has to happen is that Mayorkas and Biden follow the law. So you tell me what makes you think that the Biden administration and Mayorkas and Biden will follow the law, that new law, that border bill, which, by the way, primarily was a foreign aid bill. They finally admitted.
Why pass HR 2, which you supported?
HR 2. Hey, HR 2.
Let's again. Let's use.
No, you're not answering my questions.
I'm going to answer your question, Lou.
We haven't got time. You're using so much rhetoric.
I'm going to use facts. Under our current laws. Oh my heavens! You brought the bill up.
Yes, I did. I did it, and you're going to have a. I'm worried about your blood pressure. I want you to calm down. I'm worried about it. You're using too much rhetoric. You're getting carried away. And by the way, I will never forget that you enrolled me in the Black Lives Matter movement. That was yeah, I vilified. Yeah, I think you've done that well enough yourself, partner. Go out there and support some more rhino legislation. Maybe you can get a job with a Biden administration. Great work. You got it. Thanks so much. I appreciate it, Brandon, for your judgment. All right. Brandon Judd, he represents the Border Patrol. The Border Patrol, by the way, has somehow, imagine this, allowed in 14 million illegal immigrants and have been facilitating a welcome wagon at the border instead of securing it. Not all their fault, but that is what they've been doing. And that's what we've got to deal with. And their support of that border bill is disgusting to me and appalling. We're coming right back with more rhetoric. Stay with us. Well, coming up, we continue the conversation about illegal immigrants invading this country. We'll be talking with Maryland Congressman Andy Harris. We're going to be talking about what is happening and why people cannot, for some reason, be tracked by the Department of Homeland Security. Also, George Soros, he's set to take over an entire sector of the media industry. He's taken over most of the country, so why not the radio industry as well? And a reminder to join me each and every day, 7 days a week, for our podcast, The Great America Show. Please join us on Apple Podcast, Spotify, you name it, iHeart. We'll be there. All of the major platforms, wherever you get your podcast, we'll be there to serve you. We'll be right back.
To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our MyPillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50% and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I invented My Pillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. My Pillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature regulating thread. My Pillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of My Pillow.
Now's the time to go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your My Pillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
mypillow.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from My Pillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you can get our 6-piece My Towels, regular $69.98, now only $29.98. Or you can save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels, made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Also, we have bath sheets, bath towels, washcloths, hand towels, and so much more. And the best part, with your promo code, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Towels. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
Welcome back. The state of Illinois has announced plans to put another $250 million toward the care and social services for illegal immigrants just in the city of Chicago. The state guaranteeing Chicago will remain a magnet for illegal immigrants. And joining us now to talk about this and much more is Congressman Andy Harris of Maryland. And Congressman, great to have you with us. I want to get your reaction first to I want to talk about Congress, but I want to talk about what we're seeing, whether it's in Boston, where the Democrat Party is, the Marxist Dems are saying bring an illegal into your home. In other places, people are paying $40,000, $50,000 per illegal to bring them into their homes. There's Chicago, as we just said, $250 million more. Where are they getting the money, and what in the world is going on in this country?
Well, Lou, I feel sorry for the taxpayers. Here in Maryland, they're talking about giving free health care to illegal immigrants, obviously born on the backs of Maryland taxpayers. This is crazy. The pushback is going to be tremendous. It's very unpopular to be using taxpayer dollars to pay for costs for illegal immigrants. And again, this November, the pushback is going to be tremendous.
There isn't just a taxpayer revolt across this country. The people paying for all of this are the people who work, who build this country, who keep it running. And it's about time somebody figured out we ought to at least give us, a little respect here for working every day, taking care of families. And I don't understand why where in the world is the fire in the belly of the American people? They're getting run over and they act like they're enjoying it, for crying out loud.
Look, I think there is fire in their belly, and again, come November, we're gonna see it at the ballot box. In New York, that congressional race, the Democrat who won ran on a close the border policy. I mean, the bottom line is that the Democrats realize this is not a winning tactic, but they're pushing ahead anyway in places, as you say, like Boston, like Chicago, here in Maryland, California, places like that. And again, this will be, the Tea Party #2, where the taxpayers just get tired of working hard to pay for someone else who came into this country illegally.
The taxes have gone up 30% over the last few years. I mean, 30%. We are watching a nightmare unfold for the middle class, for working men and women, small business people. And, we were talking about the running on a border security program for a Democrat. And meanwhile, we got Republicans running as Democrats called rhinos. They're everywhere. They're in the Senate. They're in the House. Uh, I think this country is in such a mess. I don't know what it's going to take Donald Trump to do to clean it up. I mean, the Republican Party is a mess. The Democratic Party is a totalitarian operation. I mean, they're as good as communists.
Look, it's going to take Donald Trump to become president again and then to lead the Republicans. The Republicans right now, certainly in the Senate, are completely leaderless. Mike Johnson just has too narrow a majority in the House to get anything done. It's going to take an election. It's going to take Donald Trump to be president and then to reverse this craziness at the southern border and honestly, now at our northern border.
Well, you got to give the conference credit. You all did get the impeachment of Mayorkas. It only took 3 years when the guy was wide open. They turned over the border. I mean, Biden and Mayorkas literally turned over the southern border to the Mexican drug cartels. Another 100,000 lives lost every year because Joe Biden was in the White House. We're approaching 400,000 dead Americans because of the idiocy, the venality of these Marxist Dems. And the Republicans, Congressman, to be honest, I don't understand why the Republicans don't stand up and start beating their chest and saying, we're not going to put up with this crap for the sake of our people.
Look, that's what we're telling our speaker to do. We're telling our speaker from today until election day, we have to be talking about this wide open border. We have to talk about the dangers. It's not only the fentanyl, which is horrendous. It's the sex trafficking, the human trafficking. Like you say, we're just funding the Mexican cartels. They're basically a terrorist organization who have organized the invasion of our southern border.
You couldn't be more correct. As I listen to you, I hear a great concern about that, speaker. And I have to be honest, I've shared that sentiment for some time, since his first appearance on stage playing Hamlet. The man can't make up his mind, and he reverses his reversals. But I'm seeing a little firming on his part. Do you hold out any hope for him?
Yeah, look, he killed that bad Senate border deal. The bottom line is, if it weren't for Mike Johnson, that probably would be law by now. He took a position. He said it was dead on arrival, and sure enough, it was dead on arrival.
When speakers start keeping their promises, I want your sense right now. Illegal immigration, in poll after poll, is showing up for the first time in 30 years as the #1 issue among voters in poll after poll. What do you think that portends for the outcome of the election, both for the Congress, for the Senate, and for the presidency?
Well, I'll start with the presidency. Look, it's pretty obvious. This is basically one incumbent running against the other, both running on a record. Everyone knows what Donald Trump did. He protected our southern border. He lowered the number of people. He basically stood up to Mexico, versus Joe Biden, who has been completely feckless on the southern border, won't stand up to Mexico, just lets the cartels run all over our southern border. When it comes to the Senate, look, I think people realize that it might be time for a new Senate majority leader who cares, who puts America first. And with regards to the House, I think they realize, if you want us to do things like impeach, a lawless Secretary of Homeland Security, if you want us to protect the border, if you want us to stand up and you better keep the House majority in place.
All right. Congressman, we appreciate you being with us. We thank you so much for everything you do, and look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks so much, Congressman Andy Harris.
Thank you.
Coming up, George Soros set to take over a sector of the media industry in this country. Seamus Bruner is the director of research at the Government Accountability Institute, and he joins us here next. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow, towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you can get our 6-piece My Towels, regular $69.98, now only $29.98. Or you can save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels, made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Also, we have bath sheets, bath towels, washcloths, hand towels, and so much more. And the best part, with your promo code, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Towels. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free. Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0. When I invented My Pillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. My Pillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature regulating thread. My Pillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of My Pillow.
Now's the time to go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your My Pillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
mypillow.com.
To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our My Pillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50% and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Pillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
Well, no other billionaire has exerted as much influence over American politics as George Soros. The 93-year-old billionaire, the largest donor to the Democrats throughout the 2022 midterm cycle, and he's given much more money since then. And that doesn't even include the amount spent by the nonprofit Open Society Policy Center. But despite his age, Soros is not stopping at all. In fact, he wants to take control over talk radio. His fund, Soros Fund Management, just acquired a massive stake in Odyssey. Odyssey, Audacy, is the second largest radio company in the country and owns over 220 radio stations. A source close to the acquisition told the New York Post that he believed Soros was trying to exert influence on voters ahead of the 2024 election. Now, I can't believe that. George Soros wanting to influence an outcome politically? How could that be? Well, joining us now is Seamus Bruner. He is the Director of Research at the Government Accountability Institute, author of Controligarchs, the Global Elites Exposed. And Seamus Bruner did just that, as he always does. And delighted to have you with us, Seamus. And again, congratulations on your book. And we recommend it to you highly, all of you and the audience, if you would. And Seamus, going after Odyssey Radio, is there any part, any sector of society, open or otherwise, that he doesn't have an influence in?
No, there is not, Lou. It's great to be with you. When I wrote the book, the number was $1.71 billion that George Soros and the new Soros, another control oligarch named Laurene Powell Jobs, had spent on media properties and various disinformation initiatives trying to control the narrative. Now, with this $400 million investment in Odyssey, this brings their investments up over $2 $2.1 billion. That is such a massive sum. People can't really fathom how much that is, but that is enough to control the narrative. And so he didn't have a big interest in talk radio or radio of any kind until this acquisition. He's got a lot of interests in print media. He gives huge grants through his foundation, the Open Society Foundations. He gives those to mainstream media outlets. But along with Laureen Powell-Jobs, she owns The Atlantic and a bunch of other news services. They can basically publish whatever they want, or they can take people off of the air, which is what we know George Soros really likes to do. Is it's not so much the propaganda, although that's a big problem, pushing that propaganda. It's censoring the truth. And so taking over Odyssey is going to give him immense influence over the type of voices that are allowed on that platform, which, as you mentioned, is massive, 220 radio stations nationwide.
Gone through the list of the stations they own, but 200 stations is a significant piece of influence purchased by the Soros fund, I suppose, at this point. And they're doing it through debt, as I understand the deal, buying up debt. I want to, Seamus, I want to turn to the other influencer here in the Soros family, and that's Alex. He is on he seems to be in just a straight shot into the White House whenever he wishes. The door is always open for him, it seems.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Lou. The last I checked, he had been there more than a dozen times during the Biden administration. And here's some breaking news. Alex Soros and Huma Abedin are now dating. They're an item. Huma Abedin posted on her Instagram on Valentine's Day that Alex Soros, the spawn of George Soros, is her new beau. And so that indicates a number of things. First, Clinton world has always been close to the Soros dark money network. But Huma Abedin, she's a player. She's been sort of out of the limelight. This is Hillary Clinton's right-hand woman. She's been out of the limelight for a while. The Anthony Weiner stuff was kind of sordid, and she slunk away after all of that. And especially after the 2016 vanquishing. But she's back. Huma Abedin is back. She's dating Alex Soros. That means she's got access to the $25 billion dark money network of the Open Society Foundations. And so I guess we can look forward to Huma Abedin. She said she's got her eyes maybe on higher office. She's on a listening tour right now.
a very Clintonian thing to do, go on a listening tour, as I recall.
Yes.
As we look at this political year, we are watching what seems to be a slumbering Republican Party when it comes to electoral integrity, when it comes to understanding the importance of selecting the right candidates. And Mitch McConnell still exerting his dreaded rhino reach. For example, Congressman Rosendale dropping out of the race because for whatever reason, President Trump gave the rhino hand-picked candidate of Mitch McConnell his blessing. I can't for the life of me understand how the political arm of President Trump is pushing these kinds of candidates. It's difficult to comprehend. Perhaps you can put some light on it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think Donald Trump has believed that he could work with the swamp. He could get some things done with the swamp. I hope that in a potential second Trump administration, he gets better advice. But you're right; it's not looking good with some of these endorsements. Nonetheless, I know Donald Trump is a very smart man, and so he's not going to make some of the same mistakes he did last time, like nominating Elaine Chao, for example, Mitch McConnell's wife. Mitch McConnell, of course, as you sort of noted there, got to go. Mitch McConnell is bad news, as everybody knows.
Yeah, and this is his hand-picked candidate. I mean, you know that no one supports President Trump any stronger than I do. But I have to say, when someone around him, and this is what I have to chalk this up to, someone around him influenced this decision and persuaded him. And this is exactly what can't happen in the new administration. And by the way, when you talk about working with the swamp, if anyone knows that you can't work with the swamp, you can't work with the Marxist Dems, it should be Donald Trump, because the deep state and the Marxist Dems that control the Democrat Party are the ones imprisoning January 6th defendants, treating them like Soviet citizens in the mid 80s. They are the ones who have politically persecuted Donald Trump for what is entering its 9th year. I hope you didn't. I hope you didn't mean that about working with the swamp, because I just can't see it happening.
No. He won't work with the swamp. I think he did the first time. I mean, and I give him credit, actually. I mean, not for working with the swamp, but he tried to do things the right way. He tried to not be a dictator. He tried to use the correct processes and get his nominations confirmed by the Senate. And he thought that, maybe doing favors for Mitch, he would get his confirmations through. We now know that the swamp stabbed him in the back over and over again. And so I hope he does something like acting directors of the FBI and acting secretaries of state, and bypasses the confirmation process, which is held up by Mitch McConnell. A lot of people think that Donald Trump's bad appointments were bad Trump appointments. No, those were all Mitch McConnell appointments because he had to go through Mitch McConnell in order to get things done. But you can actually have an acting secretary or acting cabinet level position for, I believe it's around 180 days, and then
Right.
you can switch them around. And so he can get good, true America First patriots in there and just shuffle them around every few months.
And he did do that in a number of cases, as you know. The issue, I think, that has to be straightforward for the American people, for certainly for everyone in his administration. The Marxist Dems, and they are that, are not a opposition party. They are the enemy. They have made an enemy of the American people. They mean to destroy this country. And if anybody wants to do business with them, God help us, because you cannot do good business with bad people, and these are very bad people. Seamus, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. The book is The Oligarchs, and I love the book. I think you will too. We recommend it to you highly. Seamus Bruner, all the very best, my friend.
Thanks, Lou.
Thank you. Well, join us each and every day, 7 days a week, for my podcast, The Great America Show. Apple Podcasts, iHeart, is all major platforms. And right now, the Lindell Report is coming right up. That means Mike Lindell, and that means an entertaining hour awaits you. Don't miss it. Thanks so much. God bless. And again, good evening.